Good evening. Thank you for tuning in to PhillyCAM Voices. I am your host, Amanda Johnson.
Okay, 25 seconds, so we're going to fade between.
Hundreds of high school seniors packed the Leacore Center out at Temple University for National College Signing Day on May 2nd. They celebrated students' commitment to higher education. And guess what? They had the guest speaker who was former First Lady Michelle Obama. Rep. Adam Bornstein has the information.
So for us, growing up in Philly may be the best experience we ever have in our lives, because after Philly, everything else is a lot less difficult.
On May 2nd, Temple University's Leacore Center was the setting for the 5th Annual National College Signing Days marquee event. More than 8,000 students and their families came out to hear keynote speaker, former First Lady Michelle Obama, along with some of her friends from the TV and music industry. Signing Day was born out of Mrs. Obama's Reach Higher initiative to celebrate high school seniors' desire to continue and complete their post-secondary education.
And remember, you have an opportunity to shape the future.
Congratulations, you've been a success in high school, and you're poised for success in your next move.
My mom went to Temple University Night School. She's right back there.
I came here today to inspire my peers, and I found that I am being inspired by my peers.
Hey, 1, 2, 3, hey.
Yeah, the education department worked very closely with Mrs. Obama on the Reach Higher initiative because it's really core to the mission of the education department to try to expand access to educational opportunity, and that's really what Reach Higher is about. It's about helping young people understand what's possible for them after high school.
Going to college and continuing my education would be a great thing for my family background, because I'll be the second person in my family to attend college. So it'll mean a lot for me and my family to attend college.
I was a proud student of creative and performing arts. Initially, I thought my life plan was to go to either Curtis Institute for Music or to go to New York to go to Juilliard, but instead I chose a record deal because I got a record deal the same time that I got accepted into college. But that hasn't stopped my quest for knowledge or anything. I still teach college at NYU.
So as a teacher, I view College Signing Day as a very important day for seniors. You know, we get to celebrate all the hard work that they've done throughout the year and celebrate the next step in their lives as they move into adulthood, and just really support them and celebrate everything that they plan to do for the rest of their life.
And this event means so much to me. I helped organize it with my school to get people to come here. We work really hard to get people that are first generations and their families go to college. So this is really important to all of us in my school here, everybody in SLA. Thank you so much for applying to colleges here. I'm so proud of everybody.
And so my agent calls me up. I'm in so much trouble, and she goes, "Rebel, like, you can't do that. People, there's only a few movie studios. You can't do stuff like that." And I said, "Well, I don't care if my Hollywood career disappears." Do you know why? Because I actually have 2 degrees from college.
She's obviously incredibly inspirational, and when she talks to a room of high school students, they start to see themselves in her and start to ask, maybe I could be successful in college, maybe I could pursue the career of my dreams, and that's a really powerful thing, so I'm very grateful to her.
The biggest stars to come here today weren't Bradley Cooper or Rebel Wilson. The one they all wanted to see was Michelle Obama.
And today, do you know how many college signing day events are happening all over the country? 2,000. 2,000 events like this are happening all over this country. So we decided we needed to make going to college and getting an education as big a deal as getting a contract, because this is the investment that no one can take away from you. See, I'm not one of those doubters. I know you have everything it takes to succeed. I know that you are me. And if I can be standing here as your forever First Lady, then you can do anything you put your mind to. But we are all here because of you. And let me just say to all of the young people, not just here in this city, but around the nation who are celebrating College Signing Day, we are proud of you.
These last 3 hours have been electric. Michelle Obama's words of inspiration is something they will never forget. As today's events draw to a close, the students here will be opening a new chapter in their own lives, one that sees them at college continuing their educational journey. From Temple University, for PhillyCAM Voices, I'm Adam Bornstein.
Speaking of education, a new 9-member board appointed by Mayor Kinney will start running the Philadelphia School District starting July 1st. City schools will officially be back under local control after 16 years. Representative Connie Combe has more.
On April 4th, at a press conference at City Hall, Mayor Kinney disbanded the School Reform Commission and appointed a new school board that he created. The new school board will take effect on July 1st. I sat down with Dale Mezzacappa, a former reporter for the Philadelphia Inquirer and a contributing editor of The Notebook. Dale has been covering the Philadelphia school system for over 30 years. She gave some background on what's happened to the Philadelphia School District over the last 16 years. Here's some of what she had to say.
But there also happened during that period the recession, which resulted in the stimulus money. And what happened was the state then used the federal stimulus money to replace the state aid. And then that was not restored when Tom Corbett became governor. So the district wound up having these huge shortfalls, and that's when they started cutting counselors and nurses and other resources at the schools. The movement intensified to say the state takeover isn't helping us. The state takeover isn't solving the problems that led to the state takeover, which is financial instability and low academic performance. So we think that we should go back to a locally appointed school board. The state law that led to the state takeover required that the district had to show progress or not be in financial distress. And over the last few years, the district has managed to eke out very small surpluses. And so in that window of having small surpluses, they were able to legally vote themselves out of existence, and they did.
Dale, do you think that the state taking over the Philadelphia schools helped improve education in the city?
Not really. For the reasons I described earlier, the district never really found itself on stable financial footing. I don't see where the scenario would have been a whole lot different under the state that it would have been with the city continuing to have control over its own schools. And the state takeover was considered to be, that was their solution. Let's take over the schools, and then we can promote our agenda and get the issue of fair funding off the table. Well, right now there's a fair funding lawsuit that has finally got to the point after decades of more than one school lawsuit filed, not just on behalf of Philadelphia, but on behalf of rural school districts and other low-income school districts, that the state's funding formula is unfair. So, so that is, that may lead to some kind of changes in terms of Pennsylvania's funding formula and the ability of districts like Philadelphia, but Philadelphia in particular, to have the resources they need to adequately educate their students.
Here's what the mayor is saying about funding the schools.
And if people want to complain about paying for education, complain. But it's an economic investment. It's an economic development investment. And if you want to quibble about the cost of it, quibble. Because there's no reason to move forward unless we do this.
Dale, do you think that the state taking over the Philadelphia schools helped improve education in the city?
It's a far more entrenched issue than a well-meaning Mayor Kenny and a locally appointed school board can accomplish. It's not an easy problem to solve, but it's a step in the right direction.
This is Connie Com with PhillyCAM Voices.
The Franklin Institute wants more kids to learn about science and technology. It hosted its annual Philadelphia Science Festival with a huge carnival on Ben Franklin Parkway. Reporter Gianna Townsend has the story.
Hey guys, so today I'm out at the Science Festival where people from all over the city of Philadelphia are learning about science. So come along on our journey with us.
Okay, now you listen and you talk nice and tight. So here we have a variety of different brains from different animals here. Here we have a cat brain with extra nerves here at the front because they're known for their sense of smell. Right here. Here's a human brain cut in half. These are all your dreams and aspirations and how you see yourself and who you are in life is all right here. This is your hard drive right here. So here's a shark head. If you see between his eyes, a little kidney bean looking thing there is all the brain he gets.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
I'm the executive director of the Palmyra Cove Nature Park and Institute for Earth Observations. And what we do in there is we have a virtual reality space experience that highlights NASA and NOAA satellite imagery looking at Earth from space.
That's really cool. So how does it function?
How does it function? So it's just a regular RV that's specially equipped to be a lab. And inside we have 4 stations of computers that you go in, put on Oculus Rift goggles, and then you go into a virtual reality experience. And if you've never tried it, you should.
This is a theremin. It's an instrument that I play. I have a Philadelphia group called the Divine Hand Ensemble, and I play this instrument in front of a classical orchestra, and I make it sing like an opera singer. This device was the first electronic instrument ever invented. It's over 100 years old. It's the only instrument in the world you play without touching. So I have electricity trapped between 2 electromagnetic fields, and when I enter those fields, my capacitance triggers the circuit, allowing me to make a noise.
What did you learn so far from this event?
I learned a lot about supernovas and astronomy and animals.
Oh, that's cool. And so what was your favorite event or activity here so far?
Talking to the astronomers from Penn.
Our project is a future city with a wind turbine that's powering everything.
That's cool. And how long did it take you to make this?
Maybe about a month. Yes, a month.
Really? So what is it made out of?
It's made out of biodegradable materials that are from recycling. The wind turbine is made out of connects that have each motors and stuff that help it go through the process.
That's cool. Thank you. Thanks for coming along on our journey with us. I'm so glad I got to come out here and learn all things about science, like that sharks' brains are this small. That's crazy, right? We hope to see you next time. Bye.
That segment was produced by our youth here at PhillyCAM, and we are always excited when they contribute to our productions. Now, there is strong opposition to Temple University's proposed football stadium in North Philadelphia. The group, Stadium Stompers, is making its voice heard. But are they ignoring future jobs and businesses for the community? Reporter Sterling Basil Jones takes a look.
Throughout a large portion of North Broad Street, their red and white logo is prevalent and recognized by most Philadelphians. It's that of Temple University, which steadily over the years has changed neighborhoods and expanded their presence and real estate footprint. Even though the developments have brought on local jobs, economic growth, and more police presence in their occupying neighborhoods, there have always been opponents. Temple is now slated to build a 35,000-seat football, classroom, and event stadium on Norris Street between Broad and 16th Streets. The space is already owned by the university and currently used as a recreation and sports practice field. With the stadium site initially proposed in 2015 and on the brink of filing a formal application with the City Planning Commission, opposition came by the way of community residents, and one group in particular, the Stadium Stompers.
I'm against the new stadium project because it's a staple of gentrification. Temple University is building a stadium without the community's approval. They're building it right in the middle of apartment homes, right in the middle of the neighborhood. They have no consideration for what's going on in the community. And after failed promise of failed promise, they burst into community and say we want to build a 35,000-seat stadium.
The grassroots commission members come from local clergy, sympathetic students, faculty, and most importantly, residents. Some Stadium Stompers members have been in the proposed community over several decades. The group has adopted the slogan, "We shall not be moved." Most recently, Stadium Stomper members, including Ruth Bircher, were interviewed at PhillyCAM's radio program, People Power Lunch Hour.
Temple is a corporation, and they are incapable. They don't have the social skills. They don't have the understanding of what community engagement is. They may have a budget for it, if at all, but they don't have the heart to be the good neighbor that we need them to be.
Temple President Richard Engler has insisted that the university plans to do some wonderful things to improve the neighborhood, while the Stadium Stompers and others expressed that plans to break ground were just dictated to them, just like the familiar dominance of student housing, gentrification, and now this proposed stadium site. Congressman Darrell Clark says he'll support the project only if the community is on board. The Stompers and other opponents traveled to Harrisburg, held several rallies, and an emotional community meeting early in the year with Engler, State Senator Sharif Street, and the university's project development group. Even through it all, the Stadium Stompers still believe their cries have not been heard. University brass communicated that they also see the stadium project as a way to reclaim rental fees from Lincoln Financial Field and boost the university's football program's national profile.
Stadium for the middle of North Philadelphia. Tell me, where is this money coming from? Tell me, where is the money coming from that's filling the pockets of these people that are too afraid to have a meeting in the same neighborhood as us?
The Stadium Stompers and other neighborhood opponents want an end to the constant trash, loitering, and anticipate drunken tailgating.
It is our duty to resist by protecting our community, to fight the tax abatements that turn us out, and the university that sees us as expendable. Join the fight to stop the stadium and build a better world.
Information on public hearings regarding this matter is available at the City Planning Commission, 18th floor, 1515 Arch Street, Philadelphia. Opposition against Temple Stadium proposal is unwavering and shows no signs of letting up. Hopefully, Temple will seriously consider the community's plea to halt development and create more efforts to help rehabilitate the northern Philadelphia area and its residents. This is Sterling Bazell of PhillyCAM Voices.
If you are a homeowner in Philadelphia, then these two ladies will make you very happy today. We have Cynthia Brooks and Denise Lewis, and they're going to talk about programs in the city of Philadelphia that offers a saving to homeowners that are against their property taxes, right? Yes. So welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure. Look, to save money, they be like, come on. Introduce yourselves to the people, please.
My name is Denise Lewis, and I am a resident of Philadelphia and a block captain of the 6000 block of Webster Street.
Okay. And I'm Cynthia Brooks, and I'm a retired director of housing from a large nonprofit in the city.
All right. So talk to us about the benefits and the organization that's assisting the homeowners with the property taxes.
Okay, well, the city offers a program called the Homestead Exemption program. What it does is actually give the homeowners a reduction of their taxes. And the only requirements is you have to own your home and it has to be your primary residence. So if you don't live in a home, then that particular home does not qualify for the homestead. So it goes based on your market value of your home. So if your home is worth $100,000, they'll deduct $30,000 for the exemption. So your value would be $70,000, and then that's how they determine your taxes for the year.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, if someone's saying, how would I determine that amount? How are they getting the information to the homeowners?
Well, they do the property assessment. We have people that come out, they actually work for the city. I guess it's the city appraisers, as we would like to say, and they come out and they basically use, I don't know what program in particular they use or what requirements or what criteria, but they actually go by each home, each area, and then they assess what they think your house is worth. Or if they have like nearby development going on in your area, or any things that'll make your homes worth more money, that's how they assess the value.
That's a good point.
Yes.
So if there is some type of instruction of building up or tearing down,
yes,
that can affect your property taxes?
Yes, absolutely.
So what do you recommend if someone's saying, oh, we have an apartment complex being built? What would you recommend they do to benefit on some deductions?
Well, I would just see what programs they have. I mean, Cynthia Brooks is going to talk about other programs as well. But I would just try to take advantage of the programs now, so you get locked in, so before the actual building developments come up. So once you're in the program, they can't change that.
Gotcha. So if they're at that town hall meeting,
yes,
hey, we zoned this for this type of, that's when
you definitely need to, take part in the town hall meetings, and I do, because I like to inform my residents and others in the city of Philadelphia what programs are out there that can benefit them, their taxes and utilities and other, things they may need help with.
Tell us about additional programs.
A couple other programs are the Senior State Freeze Tax Program, and that's unfortunately income based. So, and they have a scale how much you can, maximum income you can have for single married couples, but it will freeze your taxes as a senior 65 and years in age and older. So given that Mayor Kinney is now getting ready to raise taxes, this would be a great time as a senior to get your taxes frozen. The final program is called a real estate installment program. Most people pay their taxes once a year and they pay them in total. That's a very hard thing for middle income, lower income, and seniors. So they have what is called a real estate installment program, and it has no age limit, nor does it have an income. You just have to call the city revenue department and get an application, and the first year they will divide your taxes up over 9 months with no interest. And the second year, if you successfully complete the first year, they will divide your taxes over 12 months, again with no interest. So it's a great program. I mean, if you're paying, again, $1,000 a year for taxes and you're on a fixed income, that's a hunk out of your money in February when you've got to pay your taxes. But if you can do it over 12 months, that's a very different kind of thing.
Because a lot of people think as soon as I get that statement, whew,
that's right.
And they don't know that they can make payments.
Right.
Yes.
That is awesome.
Yeah, but you have to do it ahead of time. You can't get your bill in February and think you're going to be able to get the installment. That's not going to happen. So you need to sign up for it prior to, like, starting now, and then you'll be able to deal with it this year.
So if you are on a fixed income, go get that application immediately.
Yes. But this isn't even for fixed income. This is for people, working class people. Anybody can get the installment plan. Anybody.
They just got to fill out the application.
Just fill out the application.
With the homestead, it's not income based.
Right.
So you can also take advantage of that. You don't have to worry about how much money you make.
Yeah.
So it's not income based.
Yeah, the only thing that's income based is the senior state freeze program.
Well, that's good information to know, because people like, well, you know what, I work full time.
That's right.
Yes.
And they think they're not eligible.
That's right.
But due to the new programs that's coming out, especially if they're going to raise taxes, it's time to get locked in.
Yes.
So since you are a block captain and you're very active in your community, what are some of your recommendations for people who don't have block captains?
Well, I usually try to reach out to people, like I kind of like adopt other blocks to help people who are really concerned about their residents in the block. I try to take them underneath my wing to build block captains in the area. And then basically they can go on the City of Philadelphia website and just mention, you know, tax programs, utility programs, and, you know, the city has a list of different programs that they offer. So if they go to the website, you know, they will find a list of programs that will be able to help them.
Awesome. If someone wanted to get more information about the tax program and the senior program or just the payment plan, how could they do that? Where should they go?
They can go to the water department, they can go to the real estate tax revenue department, all from the City of Philadelphia. It's also on their website, and then they have different numbers they can actually call if they're not able to, you know, walk into City of Philadelphia Municipal Building to find about the services. They can probably call them too, just to ask about the different services as well.
Okay. So just pick up the phone, get some instructions. What is your recommendation as far as when the people do, if they want to follow up, and is there anyone that they can contact outside of the municipal building? Are there any organizations?
No, just by and large, it's the Philadelphia, online is philadelphia.gov/revenue.
There you go.
And you can get everything you need from there.
Perfect. That's what I was looking for. So there's your website. You can make a phone call. You can get connected. So thank you, ladies, for joining us today. I'm sure somebody has a smile on their face because they have some additional information. So thank you for tuning into PhillyCAM Voices. Make sure you watch our episodes on our YouTube channel and all of our social media sites. Until next time, have a great evening.